Welcome back, and thank you for joining today's session. Let's explore Chapter 4 of Atomic Habits, a chapter that reveals how awareness, intuition, and subconscious learning play a crucial role in shaping our habits. So, settle in, take a deep breath, and let's begin. Chapter 4: The Man Who Didn't Look Right. The psychologist Gary Klein once shared a remarkable story. A woman, trained as a paramedic, was attending a family gathering. Upon arriving, she took one look at her father-in-law and said, "I don't like the way you look." Her father-in-law, who felt completely fine, jokingly replied, "Well, I don't like your looks either." But she was serious. "No," she insisted, "you need to go to the hospital now." A few hours later, the man was undergoing life-saving surgery. Doctors discovered a major blockage in one of his arteries. Without her intuition, he may not have survived the day. But what did she notice? How could she detect something that no one else could see? When a major artery is blocked, the body diverts blood from non-essential areas, like the skin, to critical organs. This changes the distribution of blood on the face. Years of experience had taught the woman to recognize this subtle pattern, not consciously, but intuitively. She couldn't explain it, but she sensed something wasn't right. Similar examples are found in many fields. Military analysts can distinguish an enemy missile from a friendly plane, even though both appear identical on radar. During the Gulf War, Lieutenant Commander Michael Riley ordered a missile strike on a target that looked exactly like a friendly aircraft. His call saved an entire battleship, and even his superiors couldn't explain how he knew. Museum curators can spot authentic art from fakes. Radiologists can predict strokes before visible signs appear. Hairdressers have reportedly sensed early pregnancy just by touching someone's hair. The human brain is, in essence, a prediction machine. It constantly processes your surroundings, analyzing and cataloging every experience. Over time, repeated exposure trains your brain to recognize patterns, often without conscious thought. With practice, you begin to identify cues automatically. A paramedic sees signs of heart failure, a lifeguard senses danger, and a driver notices subtle changes on the road. These habits are not taught by instruction, they are learned by exposure. We often underestimate just how much our brain and body can do on their own. You don't tell your heart to beat, your lungs to breathe, or your stomach to digest. Your body handles it, effortlessly, silently. Take hunger, for example. You don't always need to see food to know you're hungry. Hormones and chemicals signal your body to eat, and you respond, without a clear trigger. This shows us something surprising. You don't always need to notice the cue for the habit to begin. This is what makes habits powerful and dangerous. Because many habits form below the surface of conscious thought, we often act before we realize what we're doing. Consider someone who unconsciously covers their mouth when laughing, or always apologizes before asking a question. These aren't deliberate behaviors, they're ingrained responses. One day, a retail clerk, following store policy, cut up an empty gift card after use. Later, out of sheer habit, she cut a customer's actual credit card in half, completely on autopilot. Another story. A preschool teacher moved into a corporate job. Yet, she kept asking her adult colleagues if they'd washed their hands after using the bathroom again. Habit at play. Then there's the former lifeguard who couldn't stop yelling, "Walk," at running children, even long after he left his job. Over time, Cues that trigger habits become invisible. The biscuit tin on the counter, the television remote by the sofa, the phone in your pocket. These things no longer stand out, but your brain responds to them instantly and unconsciously. This is why awareness is the first step to change. Before building new habits, you must understand your current ones. This is harder than it seems, because deeply embedded habits operate without your notice. As Carl Jung wisely said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. The Habits Scorecard. The Japanese railway system is one of the most reliable in the world. If you ever travel on a train in Tokyo, you might notice something strange. Conductors perform a ritual, pointing at signals and calling out what they see. Signal is green. Speed is 70 kilometers. Departing at 10 o'clock. Even platform staff join in, pointing at edges and saying, "All clear." This method, called pointing and calling, might seem odd, but it works. It reduces mistakes by up to 85% and cuts accidents by 30%. Why is this so effective? Because it forces conductors to pay attention. By pointing and saying things aloud, they engage their eyes, hands, mouth, and ears. The process raises their awareness, making it harder to overlook small, critical details. Now think about your life. How often do we act without awareness? How often do we assume that just because we've done something many times, we're doing it right? That's where the Habits Scorecard comes in. It's a simple yet powerful tool to become aware of your everyday behaviors. Start by writing down your daily routine. For example, wake up, turn off the alarm, check the phone, use the bathroom, weigh yourself, take a shower, brush your teeth, floss, put on deodorant, get dressed, make tea. Once your list is ready, go through each habit and assign it a mark. Plus, for a good habit. Minus, for a bad habit. Equal, for a neutral habit. Your assessment will vary based on your goals. Eating a peanut butter bagel might be minus for someone on a weight loss plan, but positive for someone building muscle. It's important to understand there are no absolutely good or bad habits. Only effective ones, effective at solving the problem at hand. Habits serve a purpose, even the bad ones. That's why we repeat them. So, instead of asking, "Is this good or bad?" ask, "Does this behavior help me become the person I want to be? Does it cast a vote for the identity I desire?" Self-awareness is the beginning of self-improvement. Until you're aware of your habits, you can't expect to change them. And once you become conscious of the cues, the urges, and the responses, you begin to take back control. It's not always about discipline. It's often about clarity. By shining a light on your automatic behaviors, you create the opportunity to rewrite them. This chapter reveals a powerful truth. Much of our behavior is guided by subtle cues, learned patterns, and unconscious repetition. The brain is a master predictor, and with time, it forms habits that feel automatic, yet shape our lives. Before change is possible, awareness is essential, and the Habits Scorecard offers a practical way to begin. So at the end, the gist of Chapter 4 is, a habit begins before you're even aware of it. Your brain identifies cues and responds automatically. To create change, you must first become conscious of your habits. The Habits Scorecard helps you uncover the routines driving your life, good or bad, so you can decide what to keep and what to change. Thank you for listening to Chapter 4 of Atomic Habits. In the next chapter, we'll explore the first law of behavior change. Make it obvious. If you enjoyed the session, like, share the video, and subscribe the channel. Until then, stay aware, stay intentional, and see you soon in Chapter 5.